Jeff, aka GCurse here. Welcome to another Transformers unboxing and review. Today I have a small figure. I hinted at what it would be in the last unboxing and review video. So if you didn't see what it is, you're gonna have to wait about 30 seconds before you get to see who it is, or you could just you already know who it is because of the title of the video. So, I will be right back after this quick 30-second commercial from the 1980s, so stay tuned and I'll be right back.
Right now, Domino's Pizza is dealing. And here's the deal. You can get 2 regular pizzas for $8.88. And Domino's Pizza delivers in less than 30 minutes. So discard this joker and be a winner. Get 2 regular pizzas for $8.88. But don't miss out. This deal ends soon. Call Domino's Pizza now.
Get 2 12-inch original cheese pizzas for only $8.88 plus tax. Or for $3 more, 2 tasty custom-made Domino's pan pizzas. Call us tonight.
Welcome back, everybody. The figure that I am about to unveil today for this review, it is none other than the Studio Series 86 Core Class Wheelie. Now, how does this figure compare to the Wheelie from Titans Return? Now, I'll be honest, as you all know, that's one thing I like to pride myself on, is my brutal honesty. If I was producing videos back when this figure came out, this figure would have to be at the very bottom of the list of Titans Return figures. This figure, honestly, was a piece of shit. I do not like this figure. So when you are comparing this figure to this figure, anything is better than absolute shit. So let's get on with the show, shall we? So overall, this figure, it actually is pretty, the price point is actually pretty decent for this figure. I paid a total of $16.99 before taxes. I can't give the exact amount because this was actually part of a large package of figures that I bought. For some reason, even though I have the figure, they never updated it. It says it's on the way, but it's late, running late. I don't know what it is. I have the figure in my hand. I'm not going to contact Amazon. I'll just leave it there. But yeah, so $16.99. It is a little bit. The price is a little bit higher compared to if you were to go to a normal store and buy it. See, this is my flaw. I'll be honest. After I bought Titans Return Wheelie, it left me kind of jaded for 2 reasons. Number one, I've never really been a fan of Wheelie at all. I'm not sure what it is. I just didn't like Wheelie really to begin with. And then I bought this figure to add to my collection, and then just the sheer disappointment that I felt from this figure really left me kind of jaded when I first saw this figure at Target a few months ago. I saw this figure, and the first thing I thought was that dreadful Titans Return figure, so I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna fucking buy that thing. And then the months went, or days turned, or let's be the more dramatic route. Take the more dramatic route, shall we? The minutes after I got home, minutes turned to hours, hours turned to days, days turned to weeks, weeks turned to months, so forth. And I started wanting that figure, but by the time I decided to actually get that figure, it was already gone. Now, I have a couple, I'll just go with this one. I have a video here that I took. It's just the 2 figures on the turntable. Honestly, just from aesthetic and, posability and conversion, I actually like Studio Series 86 a hell of a lot more than I do the Titans Return Wheelie. That Titans Return Wheelie figure is so shitty that I would have problems trying to convert it for the upcoming parts of this video you're going to see. Every time I'd get that Wheelie figure converted, it would just start falling apart. It is not the best constructed figure at all. I would not wish the Titans Return Wheelie, I would not wish that figure upon anyone. No one deserves to be treated that poorly. That is something you give your worst enemy, basically. But yeah, the Studio Series 86 Wheelie, it's actually a massive improvement. But how does it rank overall after all of that? So, with that out of the way, stay tuned and I'll be right back with the continuation.
Citibank has an 800 number for the hearing impaired, so they can call us on special teletype phones. I read what happened and typed back that I'd cancel her old Citibank Visa and send her a new one right away.
Not just Visa, Citibank Visa.
If you are enjoying what you are watching, and I hope you are, because if you're this far into the video and you're not enjoying it, I'm asking, like, why are you watching? I prefer, I don't want to take anybody's time if they are not enjoying what they're watching. So it's like, if you don't want to watch, that's cool with me, dude. I understand that not everybody, different strokes for different folks, basically. But anyway, if you do enjoy what you're watching, feel free to click on that subscribe button. You'll be alerted to when I release, hopefully, new videos. I try to get one unboxing and review video done every Sunday, as long as I have items to to review and unbox and review. So, as you can see, I still got a lot of stuff, so hopefully this will take me well into next year. But anyway, on to the video, or the next portion of this video, shall we? So, up next we have the unboxing. Okay, so there we go. Now, this this product, even though it is core class, the packaging was pretty minimal. You had the standard, wheelie attached to the cardboard via those fucking plastic straps, or the securement bands, or whatever the fuck they're called. You have, oddly enough, even though they had the figure attached to the cardboard via those plastic bands, his weapon, his little slingshot, which you can't really see it in these pictures, the slingshot was just actually kind of slid into a little hole in the cardboard. You can see it in the back of the picture here. But yeah, so basically, if that package really received any real jerking or anything, yeah, that's gonna be problematic in the future. Anyway, if that package had any real jostling, that little slingshot would be lost, because this package is an open window package, meaning that anybody could just literally reach in and take out what they want. But yeah, so that, is pretty much it for the unboxing. the box itself, I normally kind of rail against Hasbro's inability to put up different images on the sides of the box, like how they always have like the zoomed in image next to another image. You can tell it's the same image, it's just kind of cropped and zoomed in. I hate that, I'll be honest. I hate that on anything that is larger than a core class. But for some reason, I feel it's pretty appropriate that they do that trick with the core class. I think it's basically because of the fact that the core class box, you're dealing with really minor, or minimal, that's the right word, minimal real estate, basically. So I'm kind of okay. And they also don't do the same profile zoomed in next to the zoomed out photo like what you find on the deluxe class figures, for example. Like here, you can just see literally it's just his face. Yeah. So I kind of like that. I wish they'd use different pictures, but the fact that this is a smaller box, therefore you don't have as much real estate, I think they kind of do what they can with what they have, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to give it a pass. The insert that wheelie is attached to, it's supposed to be like one of the parts from the movie. I can't recall what part that is, but I never save those pieces. I don't care for it. I put them on shelves that I construct later on, like what you see with the arc is on behind me. Yeah. So I don't save the cardboard inserts, and besides, this one actually had a lot of holes in it due to the plastic bands. So really, what's the point of having these little, display pieces if they have the little pinholes in it from the fucking plastic securement bands? This is why I think that the boxes should either be closed with plastic or just totally closed, period. Because these open cases with all these securement bands, especially for a studio series, it kind of ruins the display piece when you have little pinholes all over the cardboard that are holding the figure in. But yeah, so that is the unboxing. I didn't have any real problems getting the figure free. A few snips. It isn't like some of the other figures that I have cut loose. Some of those figures, the plastic bands were so tight against the figure, I was afraid I was going to damage the figure. I can actually say this is not the case with Wheelie. But yeah, so that is it for the unboxing. Stay tuned, and I'll be right back with converting and my thoughts about that.
Introducing TurboGrafx 16, the next generation video game system. It's 4 times faster, so the games are more exciting. There are almost 10 times as many colors, so the arcade quality graphics are even more intense. And you can expand your system with a CD player for CD games with sound effects that are turbocharged. TurboGrafx 16 from NEC, the higher energy video game system.
When it came to converting the Studio Series 86 Wheelie, I actually found myself, once I watched the MGO video, which I will post the link to down in the description, once I started converting this guy, it was actually pretty fun. I did not have any real issues converting this figure at all. Here are a couple of videos that I posted, or that I recorded, I should say. Even though this figure still has the same type of ball joints that the Titans Return Wheelie has, I had no real issues with the legs popping off or the forearms popping off. The only limbs that are attached, well, maybe they're all attached by ball joints or whatever they're called. Okay, never mind. I was going to say it was the arm, but apparently they're even done by little ball joints or whatever they're called. But overall, was actually pretty fun once I learned the steps to convert this guy. Now, even though I enjoyed it, doesn't mean I'm going to be constantly converting this guy. No. In fact, like all of my other figures, once I get this done doing the unboxing and review of this figure, he's going to go up on the shelf next to the rest of this Studio Series 86 cast or crew that I already have. But yeah, it is pretty fun. The only issue I had converting this figure, and it seems to be the same issue with a lot of figures lately that I've been having. No matter how much I follow the instructions like from MGo's videos, something always seems to be misaligned, and the figures will not roll that nicely. And this guy is the same case, same problem. I got him converted. I went to roll him down my little table that I use, and he would veer off to the side, indicating that one of the wheels is either not moving or is misaligned and it's just not making enough contact with the table. But besides that, overall, I would have to say that converting this figure is a breeze compared to converting the Titans Return, because there would be times I would try to convert this guy, and as you can just see here, his arms do not like to stay on. I would get this guy I had this figure converted, and he would need to be straightened out, and when I'd try to fix one issue, 10 other issues would pop up. And I think this is one of the issues that MGO had with his Titans Return Wheelie. But yeah, I can definitely say that this guy is a drastic improvement over converting over the Titans Return Wheelie. But like I said in the beginning, when something is already totally a piece of shit like the Titans Return Wheelie, everything else is going to seem like a masterpiece compared to that. Okay, so that is it for that. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back with my review.
Good evening, I'm Carolyn Tyler.
And I'm Frank Crocker. United Farm Workers leader Cesar Chavez arrived in Watsonville today, demanding housing for hundreds of field workers left homeless by the quake.
Meanwhile, Caltrans officials report more bad news for the Bay Bridge. It'll take longer than expected to repair the severed span.
Buying a new home in the Bay Area is taking on a new priority. Many buyers want to know not only what's in the house, but also what's underneath it.
We'll have those stories, all the news, on 7 at 11.
Okay, everybody, it is now time of the I'm not even going to cut it. This is my third take trying to do this portion of the video. I'm just going to leave this part in. It is now time for that portion of the video where I give you my review. The review is broken down into 3 parts. We have the positives, the negatives, and the pet peeves. And so, as always, let's start with the positives. So, basically, the positives. This figure is a drastic improvement over the Titans Return Wheelie. Like I said, if I was creating Transformers content back, oh god, 7, 8 years ago, whenever this figure first came out, this figure would have been at the very bottom of the like the top, or it'd be at the top of like the worst list, like number 1 of the top worst figures from Titans Return. This figure would have been on it, simply because this figure is a piece of shit. That is not the case with this guy. This guy is a drastic improvement, but like I said, just because it's better than the original or the Titans Return, it doesn't mean that this thing is totally perfect. It's not perfect, but it's a drastic improvement, though. The coloring of Wheelie is pretty damn awesome. I think that's one thing I like about this figure, is that since it's a studio series, they try to be a little bit more authentic to the coloring. Normally, I don't mind coloring, but for something as special as the Transformers of the movie, I think, details are a little bit more important. The articulation. This figure has a lot of articulation, and I think it's because of, instead of using pins to hold a lot of their joints together, this one has ball joints. Basically, you can twist, you can twist almost everything, basically. So you can put him in some nice poses. I didn't take any pictures, but you could, just some awesome fucking poses. I'll be honest, I like ball joints, because ball joints, in my opinion, gives the opportunity for more flexibility when it comes to posing your figures how you would like to pose them. The class size. I think that normally there are figures that I would like to see in a larger scale. So like when we got Iguanas and Bomb Burst during the more recent Legacy lines, those 2 figures were core class, although I think they should have been at least a deluxe class, because Skullgrin was a deluxe class. I like to keep it uniform across, like groups, This guy, I think he is perfect as a core class, mainly because this figure is supposed to represent, isn't Wheelie supposed to be like a child? So I can understand this figure being a core class. I don't think this figure needs to be anything larger than a core class, because the fact is that he's supposed to be young in the Transformers the movie. So I can understand why they kept this figure at a core class. As I talked about earlier, I think the box art is appropriate for this class of figure. The box for core class figures does not have that much in the way of real estate. Therefore, they have to kind of cut corners when... Excuse me. Sorry about that. They have to cut corners when working with less real estate on the boxes. The alt mode, it is fucking nice. I like the alt mode. Like I said, the only issue I had was I couldn't get everything apparently to mesh together because it had problems rolling on the table that I use. And then finally, the conversion. The conversion was nice. It was actually fun once I learned the steps. Now, a lot of people say, well, why don't you use the instructions that come with the figure? I'm not good at following those instructions. I'm more of a visual. I need to see things done that I can, mimic basically and get, work it through that way. Those instructions I've never liked since the very beginning. That is it with the positives. Up next, we have the negatives. There's only really two negatives here. The lack of weapons and accessories. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of the slingshot. Yes, he's supposed to be a little kid, but I would have at least wanted at least one or two more accessories. If you don't want to give him Wheelie a gun because he's a child, fine. Give him something else. Give him like a scanner. Give him like an energon cube. Give him something else also to just kind of justify the price point. Granted, I went through Amazon through a third party, so it was a little bit more expensive that way. I think this figure goes for something like $9.99 at your local stores. But the fact is, you're paying $9.99 basically for the figure itself. Even though it comes with a slingshot, the slingshot is just a piece of plastic, a small piece of plastic. There isn't anything really there, I would have liked it if they had like a piece of plastic that went across the two the forked pieces to indicate that there was a rubber band there or something. There's nothing there. If anything, you could use this thing in the way that you have the little antennas sticking out. You could say that this is also a scanner, like the old Star Trek scanners, or was it maybe Ghostbusters? Yeah, I think it's more Ghostbusters. But this doesn't really look like a slingshot because it doesn't have anything linking the two fork pieces or whatever they're called, the arms basically. and then another thing that the issue that I had was the fact that I know you can't really see it in this picture. This is the only picture I took of it at the time. Was the hands are visible in the alt mode. I'm not really sure what they could have done with it, but I just don't like it. And if you're wondering why he's holding the slingshot when he actually has storage under, in his alt mode, the way I kind of think of it is I look at that and I'm thinking, well, that would be a good idea for like a radio antenna, like a little antenna that, is on his vehicle. So that's why I had the hand holding the slingshot in that picture. It's just like a little car radio antenna, And then finally, the pet peeve. I'll be honest, I'm just not a fan of the character. I watched the character in the 86 cartoon, the 86 movie, and he just annoyed me. I think it's because he was a child and the fact that he was I think Hasbro just kind of forced, like amplified what they thought a child robot would be like. And because of that, it just came off so grating to me. But, looking past the character itself, the figure is awesome. The figure is awesome. So, if you can just look at it as a figure itself, you'll be happy. Try not to let your previous, experience with the movie or your opinion of the character itself. Don't let that get in your way of buying this figure, because that happened to me. I let my previous bias of this character prevent me from originally buying this figure when I first saw it, and I ended up having to pay slightly more for it. And that is about it. So when I return, I will be right back with my final thoughts after these commercials from the 1980s.
We did some serious shopping, comparing 500 items at major supermarkets. Enough was saved at Lucky to also buy 11 of these, and 8 pounds of these, and 20 bags of this, and 10 cans of this. With savings at Lucky up to 10%. For your best list prices, shop smarter. Shop Lucky.
Okay, we are now at the final portion of this video. This is where I give you my final thoughts, and overall I am happy with the figure itself. Like I mentioned previously, I'm just not a fan of Wheelie, but I like the figure itself. The figure is pretty nice. With the the small exceptions like the lack of real accessories, with the exception of that stupid slingshot, or the issue with somehow still mistransform or misaligning something. I could not get the alt mode to roll straight for anything. It would constantly veer off. Overall, it is a nice figure. I like it ton or a hell of a lot more than the Titans Return Wheelie. The question is, a lot of people are wondering, well, what am I going to do with this wheelie? And I actually have a couple rooms with my collections in them. I have what I call the Combiner Wars Trilogy room, and that room consists of the Combiner Wars Trilogy, Combiner Wars, Titans Return, and Power of the Primes. This figure is going to be in that room with the other Titans Return figures. This figure that the Studio Series 86 Core Class Wheelie is going to be in the other room with the Studio Series, the War for Cybertron trilogy, and the Legacy trilogy. So they both have their places. So, but yeah, I am very satisfied with this figure. Like I said, if you are on the ropes of buying this figure simply because of it being a wheelie, if you can just look past the fact that it's wheelie and look at it strictly as a figure, I think you will like what you see. It's just going to be that little bit of a hump trying to get over to justify yourself buying that figure. Like I said, I waited and I paid the price for it. I didn't pay out of the ass, but I still paid a slightly higher markup just because of the fact that stores are not readily carrying this figure now. They may still carry it, but it's not going to be as regular as you see other Core Class figures. But yeah, so overall, that is it. Oops, hold on, I gotta figure out which figure I'm going to review. I'll review next. I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. So next week, I was looking at my collection behind me, and I'm like, okay, what figure am I going to be unboxing and reviewing next? And it took some, thinking, and I think I'm going to go to a figure that I really wanted. I was going to actually do an unboxing review of it a long time ago, but it got pushed to the back burner, because work resumed shortly after I got this figure. It is the War for Cybertron trilogy. Covert Agent Ravage, along with Decepticon Forever Ravage. This figure, the box is a little bit damaged. Yes, before anybody says anything, there's tape on it, so I'm wondering if this was actually pre-opened. It doesn't look like it, though. But, yeah, so this figure is something that I saw just prior to my mom passing away. And due to, me being burned out after she passed away, I just put everything on the back burner. But I got this figure after a slightly higher price, and basically that is, I'm glad to finally have it, but I cannot wait to get this thing open to show everybody. So stay tuned next week, which will be next Sunday. It will be the 17th, I think. Here, let me check my... Ooh, wow, it is really... Let's turn these off. Hold on one second there. Next Sunday, it will be the 17th. Yep, 17th. So next Sunday, the 17th of December 2023, it will be the Deluxe Class Covert Agent Ravage and Decepticon Forever Ravage. Stay tuned. Till then, my name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Wishing you all a great day, and stay safe, everybody. Peace out.